G'day and welcome to episode 103 of Trent365. Today is Tuesday the 13th of March. My house, my rules. That's something my dad used to say a lot when we were kids, which I guess just means that we complained a lot when we were growing up. And it's one of those annoying little life lessons that drives you mad until you realize eventually 20 or 30 years later that it's something you just have to accept because it's something that plays out in the real world all the time. It's certainly something that anyone that creates and distributes content needs to accept too. And it's one of those things that slapped me in the face again just recently when Anchor, which is the app that I use to both create and partially distribute this show, did what any self-respecting app does, and they created an updated version of their app. Now, of course, that new version introduced a whole bunch of new really cool features, most of which are no great benefit to me. And more importantly, they took away a couple of key features that I relied on and used every day. So I sent a little note to the support team asking was there any chance that they might be reintroducing these couple of features. And what did they say? My house, my rules. Well, that's not exactly what they said, but ultimately that was the message. We've changed the rules of the house, and if you don't like it, then unfortunately you'll have to move out. And it's something that we hear all the time whenever, Google introduces an update to the algorithm, or maybe YouTube and Facebook change the way that advertisers can get to people. And those two channels, Facebook and YouTube, did some changes recently which had a serious impact on a lot of big businesses. Facebook in particular, there's digital media companies that have built hundreds of million dollar businesses on the back of being able to reach people through the Facebook platform. And all of a sudden Facebook changes the way the rules are, and now hundreds of millions of dollars are down the drain. Now, is that fair? Doesn't matter, it just is. And it's not a case of, Facebook is a free platform, so if you're not paying for it, then you have to accept it. A lot of these companies were paying big money to Facebook to build their businesses. But Facebook decided to change the rules of the house. So what can you do to protect yourself when these sort of things happen? 3 things, simply. Number 1, try to not be too reliant or too beholden on any one platform for either the creation or distribution of your content. And the best way to do that is to make sure that you distribute across multiple platforms, not just one. The second thing you can do is try, once you have them, to get them onto your platform. And what I mean by your platform, maybe it's your website, maybe it's your Facebook page, maybe it's just your email list. Try to make sure that you get closer to those customers and that you actually have a direct line to them so that you're not 100% reliant on the platform itself. The third thing, and probably the hardest to do, but the most valuable obviously, is to just create so much content, bring so much valuable content to them that there is no real substitute for out there anywhere else, and then they'll find you. If there's no substitute for what you do and what you create, I guarantee people will find a way to find you. Because if you can't do that, then you just have to simply accept that if it's not your house, you've got to play by someone else's rules. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. You can subscribe on iTunes, Google Play Store, Overcast, Pocket Cast, or just follow along on the social streams. And I'll be back again tomorrow. See ya.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.